So you're relocating to Huntsville, Alabama, and you are asking yourself this question. Should I buy first or should I rent? Should I rent? Should I buy? Am I going to like Alabama? Am I going to hate it? What's the summers like? Am I going to bake and die? Do they have a Starbucks? Is there anything to do here? Are there concerts? How are the outdoor trails? Am I going to just absolutely want to get the heck away from here after I move here? Well, today we're going to be going into situations where it may make a lot more sense for you to rent right now, and then look at situations where buying may really be your best or one of your only options. So we're going to be exploring all of that. And then at the end of this video, if you stay to the end, we're going to really get into break down the numbers and look at kind of what your average and median rental prices are across different categories, and then what kind of inventory you have in different home prices. So first thing I want to talk about is situations where renting may really be the better option for you. And we're going to be looking at a few right now. Now, if you are keeping up on the news, I'm sure you are if you're looking at videos like this, housing affordability is at some of the worst levels it's been at in this country. And it's a combination of high interest rates and high home prices and wages not keeping up with where those numbers are. Now, it has been hard, and a lot of things from what I've been hearing is that this is mirroring the 1980s market. It's kind of similar-ish to that, more so than 2008, which was a mortgage crisis issue. So we're seeing high demand, low inventory, wages not keeping up, interest rates. It's just created this kind of perfect storm. So with that, if you are not in a really good financial situation right now, so if you have a lot of credit card debt or high interest, bad consumer debt, if you have a lot of student loan payments, those are starting back up again, or car debt, or just your financial situation is really, really tight with other debt right now, yes, you may still be able to qualify for a house, but lenders and what they'll qualify you for, I mean, if you go at those max numbers, it is going to be so tight. You're going to have almost no breathing room. And as we all know with home ownership, things break, things go wrong. I like to talk about with my people, factor in something for maintenance, know that your taxes and your insurance are very likely going to go up over time. I mean, they're not going to go down. So give yourself some buffer. If you're not going to have any buffer and you've got a lot of bad debt and stuff to take care of over here, it may be better for you to rent and take care of those so you have a better situation, a better savings, better emergency fund able to purchase. And that, if your credit's bad and you're working on that as well, it can help a lot too. 6-12 months could do a lot to help you be able to qualify for more or even purchase the same but at a lower interest rate. So if basically, in summary, if your finances are too tight, then I understand renting can be easier, and you can choose where you rent. You can rent something cheaper. You can go from renting a house to an apartment, and then you could go down in size. So you have more options to kind of move your costs down. So that right there is one reason that I would say if you're in that boat, it would make a lot of sense potentially to rent. The next reason that could make a lot of sense to rent, and again, as a part of a military family, we were on, you get orders to move, job transfers, job changes. So you have a house, you're moving, now you got to sell it, and it may not be an ideal time to sell. You may not have been in there long enough. So if you're not going to be in the area very long, or your job situation is kind of up in the air, it may be a contract, or you may need to keep mobile so that you can take a promotion and be able to move somewhere else. Unless you're planning on purchasing and using that house as a rental down the road, and if you don't have any previous rental or landlording experience, we'll really want to have a conversation on that. But best way to get a hold of us if you have any specific questions is to give our team a call, text, or email. I'll have the information up here. That's whatever your preferred way of getting a hold of us is, and we'll be happy to answer those questions. So going back to that, right now, if you're not going to be in that house for anywhere from 5 to 7 years, it might make more sense to rent if you're going to need to sell it in that time. It's not normal to have the appreciation that we just had in the last few years. It's usually, I think the national average is somewhere around 4% or so for your average home appreciation. And so, if you're going to be selling too soon, then Now there are situations, and now there are situations where it's not all about the money and the lifestyle and what owning that home can afford you may trump the pure financial, on paper. So there are lots of things to consider with that. The third reason I would say to rent first would be if either you're building and you're moving here first and you need something short term while your house is under construction being built, or if you are really, really particular on exactly where you want to be and there's no better way to know an area, unfortunately, besides living there. I've lived in many different states and there's some areas I like, some I definitely didn't, and you won't know that for sure until you're here. And so if you rent in an area and explore for a little while, maybe do something short term, just so you can get a better idea of what you're looking for. One thing I'll caution though, with that is it's really easy to get stuck in a rut or a routine and you end up purchasing a house and you think you're going to explore all these areas here, and then a year goes by and you didn't do as much exploring as you thought you would. You kind of found a little community there, and that's kind of where you ended up. So sometimes you may be able to see a whole lot more of the area by flying up here or driving here, whatever, getting over here ahead of time and then exploring the area either on your own or if you're looking at ready to purchase a house. Really exploring all those different areas with your realtor and being able to see that. I know when we moved here, we went all over the place. We were looking in just all over. That poor realtor. We drove us everywhere, but was definitely helpful. And that's the kind of thing I want to offer to you all, is that service of, it's stressful relocating, and our team just wants to take that stress off, help you know the area. And if nothing else, just watch these videos and hopefully this will help you as well ahead of time. All right, so going back into it, those are the 3 reasons I would say it may make sense to rent. You're still learning the area and you've got specific criteria you're looking for. Finances is going to stretch you too tight to purchase right now. And then third, your job situation is just not stable enough to make sense where you're going to stay here long enough. All right, before we continue with this, please remember to smash that like button, click subscribe so you don't miss a new video. We upload a new video every single week. Again, talk about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, play, and live here in the North Alabama, Huntsville, Madison, Athens, Decatur area. So you are going to want to stay tuned for those. All right, so back with the video. So what are situations in which you really should think of buying? Well, one situation, if you're selling your current home and you have a lot of equity you're bringing in, then that is great. If you can put a sizable down payment, that right now it's competitive, but the more you can put down on a property, of course, the less you can be paying. And with high interest rates, that could be really good. You could always, if rates go down in the future, you can refinance in the future. If they stay the same, then at least you've been able to buy down that rate more. So if you've got a lot of equity, that can make a lot of sense to purchase. In our situation, with our move here, we had a lot of stuff. We had a lot of farm animals. So renting was not an option for our family when we moved up here. We had alpacas, cats, dogs, guineas, chickens, rabbits, all kinds of animals, because we had a little homestead when we relocated here. And so there wasn't anywhere we could rent for that. We needed to come right into purchase. And for a lot that's moving, in a similar situation, you're not trying to time the market. You're not trying to do any of that. You're just trying to reset up, remake home here as it's disrupted moving. That's a situation where, it's probably best off to purchase. Next reason is maybe if there is a specific school zone where you really want to be in that school zone and you've picked that out, I'll caution that, school zone maps can change over time. It can be redrawn, and that's not something any of us have control over. But, and you could always try and find a house that's rents within that school zone, but purchasing in the school zone, that can be a big reason for a lot of people, just getting into those areas. Third reason is it really is lifestyle. Having that freedom to do what you want and have a place to call home. Being able to lock in that mortgage payment today and fixing, we know maintenance, taxes, and insurance are all going to go up over time. That's a fact. Those things always go up and up. But I guess retirement could help with the taxes portion. But you get my point. Things get more expensive over time, but at least being able to lock in something at today's prices will feel a lot better, 10 years, 15 years down the road when it's like, man, I have my mortgage payment is that or gone. So, and then the appreciation avenues, that the fact that you can put money into improving your home and it can add value to it. The fact that as you are paying down the interest, I mean, there's so many financial benefits to owning a home. It's just, you want to be in a good situation before you buy it. But that can be a great avenue to buying a house. All right, so let's talk the numbers now. What is it going to cost to rent a house in Madison County? Several counties in the area, and we work the whole North Alabama area. I just picked Madison County as that is the county of Huntsville. So looking right now, let's see my notes here. Looking right now, the active, I just had on the MLS, and a lot of properties that are rented don't even make it to the MLS, but I'm using the MLS for data here. For active 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, single family house in Madison County, and then I didn't put any price cap on it. It's monthly rent. The median monthly rent for the active, what they're asking is $1,900. The average a little bit higher at about $2,043 as of time of recording this in the late fall of 2023. Now, what's interesting, when you cap that down, you think, okay, what can I get for $2,000 or less here in the area? You're looking around $1,750 or so monthly rent for a house. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, Madison County. That's all I put in there. Looking at what actually leased on the MLS for, I think I went back 6 months on it, but the actual leased property was on average about $1,800 a month. And then when I capped it again at $2,000 a month or less, it was like $1,700, or right around that for the median. So kind of gives you some idea on what a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single family home will rent for. Looking at apartments, and they are building a lot of new apartments here in this area. Tons of new apartments just popping up, but those 2-bedroom apartments, so range that $1,100, $1,400, somewhere in that ballpark range, and some of them have some pretty cool amenities as well. You just have to check those out. A lot of those don't make it to the MLS as they're companies, and they have their own portals you go through for applications. Now, looking at inventory for home prices there in Madison County, looking at inventory, and when you look at the big picture, it's including a lot of new construction, because we have a lot of new builds here in this area. So for $250,000 and under in Madison County, there were 111 actives and 11 new construction. So there are a few new construction homes just under that 250 mark, but with upgrades a lot of times and lot premiums, a lot of times you'll end up going over that 250 really quickly. And not much new builds in that price point. 250 to 350 is really the price range we're seeing the bulk of the new construction there in Madison County. There was like 388 new construction or proposed construction or under construction homes listed, and 200 resale homes. So like twice as many new constructions. That's very popular price point. And then 350 to 450, we saw 177 houses for sale, resale homes, and then like around 160, 170 new construction in that range. And then when you get 450 to 600, that is still a really on the higher end for this area. You can get a lot of house for that. There was 147 resale houses for sale, and then new construction coming down like 129. So we're seeing that new builds are really targeting that 250 to 350 range, where they're seeing a lot of demand in building. And we're seeing the average home price in Madison County is $367, medium's a little bit lower at $322. So mid 300s is kind of what you're looking at, ballpark for your average home price. So if you've got questions, wondering what your purchase budget, what a good range will be, and comparing that to rents and all of that, any more questions that you have, feel free to reach out. A good, real quick, if you want just a real quick estimate, is go to like Google mortgage calculator, and the numbers aren't entirely accurate because it's kind of national taking stuff. It's not region specific. So things like A lot of times the property taxes they put on there is too high because you can homestead them here. Homeowners insurance is estimating too low. So, but that can give you just a rough ballpark range if you're kind of playing around to see, okay, what can I afford as far as purchase goes? So anyway, I hope that you have found this helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, or again, reach out. Our team at Dean's List Realty ready to help. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a ton, and it makes sure that you don't miss a video like this. We upload a new video every week, and you don't want to miss out on them.